Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Kunja Bihari Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Jayo Subhadra Devi Jayo Gauranithai Jayo Gauranithai Jayo Gauranithai Jayo Gauranithai Jayo Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Jayo Gurudev Jayo Jayo Gurudev Welcome all to the SNDF's program at ISKCONofRoundRock. Today we'll be discussing about karma, vikarma, and karma. So this will be the topic of discussion today. Before we get into the discussion, let's pray to the Guru Parampara for the auspiciousness. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamshcha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the Sunday Feast class at ISKCONofRoundRock. So today we are going to discuss about karma, vikarma and akarma. So the close sloka which is associated with that is, which I have chosen, is 4.7. We'll recite the sloka, read the translation and purport, and then get into the discussion. Karmano hi api bodhavyam cha vikarmana akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Anyone wants to recite? Karmano hi api bodhavyam cha vikarmana akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. Karmano hapi bodhavyam cha vikarmana akarmanascha bodhavyam gahana karmano gatihi. I'll just read out the translation. You can repeat. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Can somebody read the purport?
If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinctions between action, inaction, and unauthorized actions. One has to apply oneself to such an analysis of
Thank you, Prabhu. So this sloka talks about karma, vikarma, and akarma. And Krishna says in this sloka very clearly that one has to know what is karma, what is vikarma, and what is akarma. Because only by knowing what are all these things, our activities can be done without reactions, and that will lead to liberation. So, and also Krishna says, Gahana. Gahana means it is very hard to understand. It's like a forest. Forest is like, told us it's Gahana. If we just get into the forest, we don't know how to come out. So the intricacies of the action and reactions are very hard to understand. So, and Bodhavya means that one has to understand. Buddha, Bodha, all these words are related together. So that means that Krishna is emphasizing that one has to try to understand what is karma, vikarma, and akarma. So I'll just put forward the question to you. What is your understanding of what is karma, vikarma, and akarma? So we have been practicing Krishna consciousness for long, right? So what is karma as per our understanding? Okay. So can you give an example of prescribed duty? Okay. Okay, so that's the prescribed duty of agresta. Yeah, good. What about vikarma? What is vikarma? Doing opposite to what is prescribed. Okay. Yeah, that's a good definition. So that means not taking care of family. Yeah. Forbidden action. Okay. So what is meant by akarma? Action in Krishna consciousness. Right? So that's the definition. At least we know what is meant by karma. Okay, let's see what is it. So karma is the prescribed duties as per the varna and ashrama. If you take the translations and the purports given by various acharyas before Prabhupada, the prescribed duties are given based on the varnas and ashramas, or the activities that are to be done as per the Guru's instructions. So that is karma. And then we have vikarma. Vikarma are prohibited actions by the scriptures that one must not do. And then akarma is devotional service. So why is there prohibition in the scriptures? Why is there some prohibition in the scriptures? Any idea? Why is scriptures saying that one must not do some activity? Okay, to maintain the balance. Okay. Let's take one bad activity, right? Let's take meat eating. Okay. So what will happen if one consumes meat? What is the effect of it? He will probably, his consciousness will degrade and he will go to hellish planets. So that's why there is some prohibition where scripture says that, okay, so you don't do those things so that, you don't go below what you are right now. So right now we are in human form of life and your consciousness doesn't go below it. So that's why vikarmas are there in scriptures for humans to avoid those activities. So in short, karma is like karma means it's good karma. Basically, it's good karma, good activities. So when somebody says it's a karma, it generally denotes that it's a good activity which we are doing for uplifting oneself. And vikarma is prohibited action. So it's like we can say it's bad activities, and akarma is devotional service. So there's a speciality about akarma. Akarma means that we don't get any reactions out of it. So karma means one gets pious credits. Vikarma, one gets he gets impious credits. And akarma is like one does not get any pious or impious credits. Of course, one's devotion increases. So that's the difference between karma, vikarma, and akarma. So we'll be discussing in detail of what are these things. First, let's get into Vikarma, because most of our activities are, we know we are close to Vikarma, I think, right? In Kali Yuga, many people are close to Vikarma. So let's see what are the Vikarmic activities. So these are the 4 pillars of sin, which Bhagavatam first canto says. These are the 4 pillars of sin. So there are also many prohibited activities which are there in scriptures, like telling lies. Generally, one is not supposed to tell lies, so that's also a Vikarmic activity. But then, what is the root cause of lying? So there must be a root cause, right? So all these 4 pillars of sin are the root cause of most of the Vikarmic activities that one is doing in this world. So Srimad Bhagavatam therefore advises that one get rid of these Vikarmic activities. So Prabhupada in his movement, in his ISKCON movement, has made this as a rule that one who is like initiated or practicing Krishna consciousness, he avoid doing these 4 Vikarmic activities, which are the root cause of many sins. So yeah, so we know all these things, right? No intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling, and no illicit relationships. So if one is able to avoid these things, then he is progressing in human civilization. And the opposite of doing all these 4 activities are the principles of religion. So if one is able to practice the principles of religion and avoid the principle of all these sins, then he leads a pious life. So intoxication directly hinders the austerity of a person, of a human being. And if one is engaged in gambling, then he is generally not truthful. And if somebody is consuming meat, then his propensity to be merciful comes down. And if somebody is engaged in illicit relationship, then his thoughts and external cleanliness is not there. So all the below aspects, austerity, truthfulness, mercy, cleanliness, as per first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, are the pillars of religion. So it doesn't matter if one is following any religion. I mean, like he can follow any sort of religion, but if one doesn't cultivate these qualities, then definitely his religious life is going to be hindered. So we have seen what are the Vikarmic activities, and then we will see what is karma. So karma is the prescribed duties. What prescribed duties? What are the prescribed duties that has been given to us in the scriptures? If we follow that, then we are following the proper karma. Okay, so what are the prescribed duties? So there are 3 categories of prescribed duties. One is called Nitya Karma, another is called Naimitika Karma, and another is Kamya Karma. So Nitya Karma is something like one has to do every day. So like for Brahmanas, if you see traditionally, the Brahmanas are supposed to do Sandhya Vandana. So that's the Nitya Karma of a Brahmana. So like that, we also we are following Guru Parampara, ISKCON Guru Parampara, right? So what are our Nitya Karmas? Our chanting 16 rounds, that's our Nitya Karma. Or any other Nitya Karma what we have? Some of us are second initiated, so then we have to chant Gayatri. So that's our Nitya Karma. So one should not miss it. Chanting 16 rounds and chanting Gayatri. So these are the Nitya Karma, prescribed duties that are given by Guru or given by Shastras. And we also have different Nitya Karmas that is given to as per the scriptures, and one has to strictly follow that. So if one follows that, then his life is pious, and he leads a happy life. And then we have Naimitika Karma. Naimitika Karma is obligatory duties, but it's not daily duties. Like for example, we observe Janmashtami. Janmashtami, we do fasting, right? So that comes once in a year. At the same time, we do Ekadasi fasting. and all those things come in Naimitika karmas. So even those things are like prescribed and it is obligatory, but they don't uh, they don't uh, they don't come in the daily routine duties. So even those things have to be performed as per the rules and regulations of the scriptures. And then we have Kamya Karma. So Kamya Karma is like one desires something. If somebody, mainly, if somebody is a grasta, so he has a lot of requirements, and sometimes he will pray to the Lord that I want this or I want that. That's okay, but then those type of desires are done to fulfill certain. Those type of desires are there, and the karmas are there to fulfill those type of desires, like performing some yajna and other things. So those are called kami karmas. So kami karma is not obligatory, but the nitya karma and naimitika karma is obligatory. Srila Prabhupada writes in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one of the purports, he writes that we have three actions. One is routine work, another is emergency work, and another is desired work. So it's almost translates to what comes in scriptures, which is nitya karma, naimitika karma, and kamya karma. Yeah. So if one performs these karmic activities which are given in scriptures, then one leads a pious life, and the result is that one is happy within this material world, and he doesn't get entangled much. So we will get into the because most of us are grihasthas, we will get into the duties of the grihastha. What are the duties of the grihastha? We'll see point by point how a grihastha should lead his life. So these are, we can say that it comes in the category of nitya karma or naimitika karma, but then the grihastha has to perform all these activities so that he leads a pious and Krishna conscious life. So first thing is one has to associate with a saintly person again and hear about the narrations of the Lord. So generally, grihasthas, married people, they have a lot of engagements, right? So we all know that we have a lot of engagements, but then we lose the track often, many times. In fact, many times we are not in track only. Yeah, we are not in track. So we have to be always been reminded of what is the goal of life and other things. So, and how we are reminded, we are reminded through the association of devotees, saintly persons. So if we arrange for a program, then suddenly they will come and give a class and they will say that the goal of life is to please Krishna. For last 1 month we would have forgotten that. So, but then say a saintly person will come and make us remember that, okay, see, yeah, so we have to become serious in Krishna consciousness. So that's why for a grihastha it's very important to associate with saintly persons. And then the grihastha should engage in worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and especially it's done through deity worship. So deity worship purifies the consciousness of a grihastha. So I know in my hometown, my mother, in the evening time, from evening 6:30 to 9, so continuously serials will keep going in the TV. Okay, so all those time can be consumed properly if one is engaged properly in deity services. If somebody is engaged in deity service, all that time can be dovetailed to worship the Supreme Lord. And then one has to offer the results of the activities to Vasudeva. So whatever the results which you are getting from the duties of performing the work, so that has to be used for a good cause, and especially for spreading the glories of the holy name, distributing books, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So these are some of the ways one can offer the results of activities to Krishna. And then, so all these things, all these points I have took from 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Narada Muni explains to Yudhishthira Maharaj of what's ideal family life. one major point is that one must not do a lot of ugra karma while working for his livelihood, because if one gets into this ugra karma, then he's going to lose the focus of what is the purpose, and that's a disaster, right? So one must be focused on the goal of life, but then if one gets into the ugra karma, then then it's not going to help. So there are like there are many people get stuck in this ugra karma, and they make their life meaningless. So I was just hearing one interview with the ambassador of India, the ambassador of India, who is based out in Canada. So he was the ambassador of Canada, so Indian. So then he was saying that. So this is like, this interview was took probably 4 or 5 months back. He was saying that there was a time that where every week they used to send a dead body from Canada to India. So dead bodies of students, because these students, they wanted to have a good life, and during their college days they were sent by their parents to India. They sold everything, all their property, everything is sold off, and then they asked them to they send them to these foreign countries to study, and there they have to study within in a very cumbersome situation. In one room, say maybe 6-7 people are staying, and then they have to drive cabs to maintain their life. And then after these studies, they are not getting proper jobs, and because they are not getting proper jobs, they are not able to face their parents, and they are really ashamed to go back to India. So he was saying that it was surprising for me that he was saying that every week, like, they used to send one dead body from Canada to India, because people are committing suicide. And recently also we heard that people are spending like 50 lakh rupees just to come to US in a illegal way through Mexico border. And these are all the examples of ugra karma. People want to do a lot of they want to be happy, but then they are not satisfied with a simple life, but then aspiring for something, many things which are beyond their reach. They engage in ugra karma. So these are examples that, but what Bhagavatam says is that one has to be satisfied with a simple living, and so that's what Bhagavatam recommends. But then if one engages in ugra karma, then there is definitely some reactions to it. Yeah. So then, so the next aspect is that if one has sufficient wealth, if Grasa earns, so generally when we get into the hierarchy of the company, our salary also increases, right? Our salary increases, our wealth increases, and then we start accumulating many things. Once the wealth is more, then the recommendation is that if wealth is more, then one perform yajna. So this will help oneself, one's family, and also it will help the society also, because yajna means it is not just it's for oneself. Yajna involves the distribution of prasadam and other sanctified items. So this will help the society. So if one has sufficient wealth, then one must perform yajna. Of course, we know that this Kali Yuga, other yajnas don't give much results. So the Sankirtan yajna is the yajna which is recommended in Kali Yuga. So if one is having more wealth, then he must engage, he must conduct programs where Sankirtan yajna is performed, and he should invite people to participate in the yajna. So in this way, the wealth should be utilized properly. So the other aspect is a grihastha in essence, a grihastha in the sense, a married person, he is envious because he thinks only about his family. And when he sees that the other families, neighbors, and other people are, progressing materially or spiritually, they tend to be envious. So it's a rule that a grihastha should not be envious, and he must be satisfied with whatever he has. There are people, right? They come and disturb us. They say if you are having a 2 BHK house, they will come and say, "You are in US. Why are you not in a 4 BHK house? You should go to a more bigger house." Those type of things are there. But then Shastra says that you have to be satisfied with whatever is like sufficient for you, and not be too greedy. Another aspect is that grihastha should be compassionate to all living entities, and the grihastha should perform community activities and maintain fallen souls and untouchables. So this is one of the aspects of grihastha dharma, is that one has to maintain the people in the social order who are like who are not who are considered as untouchables, and who are not they're not gelled with the society, right? They do for due to whatever reason, they tend to be aloof and everything. A grihastha should show mercy to them. So one of the best way to show mercy is to distribute prasadam. So when one distributes prasadam, then he benefits them materially as well as spiritually. Yeah, so that's the next point, is that they serve the devotees of the Lord by offering them prasadam and then many other menial services. So after the devotees are served prasadam, then the prasadam should be given to the all the other people. Yeah. So then the other major aspect is that the prasadam should be given to Pitrus also. So we have this Shrad ceremony, which in India we would be performing for our forefathers. So these are the obligatory duties of a grihastha. If one grihastha is not doing that duty, then there's a possibility that they have the curse from the Pitrus, and because of that their material and spiritual progress can get impeded. So it is very important to do this Shraddha ceremony. And then in India, I remember, when I was small, every Amavasya, my mother used to prepare food, and she will say, go to the cellar and keep it. No crows will come and take. So the idea is that all this punya, whatever we are doing, so that is being consumed by our forefathers, and because we do that activity, they don't curse us, they bless us. And this is very important for grihastha, because a grihastha is like having a family life, and he has to have a material life also, and for that the blessings of the Pitrus and the other saintly persons are required. Yeah, so the other aspects is that the grihastha should observe festivals. So if you see, we have come from India, right? But if you see how we are celebrating festivals here, it is not that great as we were celebrating in India, right? Because in India we had that culture, we had the following, and our parents and our grandparents, they used to pushed us to celebrate the festivals. But then here, a duty of the grihastha is to celebrate the festivals as well. It's very important. Narada Muni says that one has to celebrate the festivals, and one has to perform yajna, especially during the Makar Sankranti, and then during the time when the sun comes towards the southern hemisphere. Makar Sankranti is the time when sun travels north. But there is also one day when the sun starts to travel south. So in all those days, one has to perform good activities, and have to celebrate festivals. Generally, after coming to ISKCON, then somehow we get more accustomed to celebrate Vaishnava festival, which is good. But then these things become slackened. But there's nothing harm in celebrating this festival. We can worship the Lord. We are worshiping the Lord all days. So then we can worship the Lord, especially during these days like Makar Sankranti and other festival days as well. So it's a rule. I mean, it's a prescribed duty. So these are all obligatory duties. It's not that okay we can skip it. So it is Narada Muni is saying that these are obligatory duties. And then a grahastha has to perform samskars for the family members. It's a duty of the father to get the daughter married. It is the duty of the father to see his son being engaged in prescribed duty. And then it is, we have a lot of samskars, like Prabhupada has recommended Dasavida samskars. From the birth, we have different samskars, and all the samskars have to be performed. It's a duty of a grahastha to do that. So then, this is a very interesting thing which Narada Muni mentions in 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Can anybody read this? The last point, an intelligent man.
An intelligent man in human society should make his own program of activities very simple. If there are suggestions from his friends, children, parents, brothers, or anyone else, he should externally agree, saying, yes, that is all right. But internally he should be determined not to create a cumbersome life, in which the purpose of life will not be fulfilled.
Yeah, so this is the recommendation of Narada Muni. So as a grahasthas, we always, and especially we know if we are practicing devotional service, we get into association with many people who don't like devotional service, who are pretty much against it, and they think that devotional service is for old people, or devotional service is like for people who don't know how to utilize their life, right? And then when they come to us, practicing devotees, they say that, no, why are you doing all this thing? Don't do, these things. So Narada Muni is giving a practical example of how to deal with them. He says that you say to them that, yeah, okay, yes, what you are saying is right. It's okay, and then keep doing our duties. So that's how Narada Muni is recommending a grahastha to act. He is not saying that you challenge them, you argue with them, and then prove what you are saying is right. He just says, Narada Muni is saying, yeah, okay, what you are saying is right. Somebody says that, see, you're so poor, why don't you buy a big house, palatial house, 10 BHK house, all those things. We said, yeah, you are right. It's a good advice. I'll do it. I'll think about it, and then carry on with our devotional activities. So that's the way Narada Muni is recommending one has to act with this type of people. There is one small story in this regard. There was a boy who was chanting Hare Krishna under a tree. He was chanting Hare Krishna very seriously. He was very happy chanting Hare Krishna in his beats. Then one gentleman came there in a car. He had a driver. He was very rich. He came there and he was thinking like normal people think, right? What is this guy doing? No, he's wasting his time. And then he wanted to give him some advice. So then he went to this boy. He told that, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm chanting. He doesn't say directly that you are wasting time and all those things. So you have to go to school now. It's the age for you to go to school. So then he says that, okay. So the boy says that, okay, no, if I go to school, what will happen? So now probably you will probably be in 8th grade right now. So we should go and join 8th grade. So then the boy asks, "Oh, so okay, I'll be in 8th grade, so after studying, what will happen? After studying 8th grade, you'll go to 9th grade. Okay. So then he will say like this, he'll be asking what will happen. And then he will say, he'll go to 10th grade. And then after going to 10th grade, what will happen? You'll go to high school. Go to high school, you'll go to high school. Okay, what will happen if I go to a high school? You'll go to college. Okay, yeah. So, okay, yeah. So what will happen if you go to college? Then you will get a very nice job. If you go to college, nicely study, you will get a very nice job. Okay. So after getting a job, what will I do? So then you will say, you will have a very good wife. Because you will have a very good job, then you will have a very good wife. Okay, so yeah, fine. So what will I get if I get a very good wife? You will have very good children. You will have very good children then. Okay, and then you can have a big house, you can have a big car, you can enjoy your life, and you will have very good children. And then the boy will ask, okay, what will happen after if I have very good children? No, they will grow up. They will grow up, and then yes. So then what will happen if they grow up? Then again you can send them to school. Okay, so the samsara will keep continuing. Okay, so a person is chanting Hare Krishna, he is very, very happy, and then we get into these duties, and then the samsara chakra will keep going like this. So this is not to everybody has to perform his duty, that's fine, but one has to have a spirit of renunciation, that one has to get out of this material world. So that's why Narada Muni is saying that if somebody is approaching one with that mentality, he is having a materialistic mentality, then how to deal with him? You say that, yeah, what you are saying is right, but then we continue our devotional service. So these are the duties of a grihastha. So these are the obligatory duties of a grihastha, which is given in the Shastras. Apart from that, our gurus have given us more obligatory duties like chanting 16 rounds. So if one is chanting 16 rounds and following all these obligatory duties, then he leads a pious life, and during the end of life, it is possible for him to remember Krishna. So these are examples. If you see this picture, this is a picture of Adani, and he has been gracious enough to sponsor prasadam for the people who come to the Kumbh Mela. So ISKCON was associated with that. We can see how these people are they are having a lot of wealth, but they are also utilizing their wealth for a good cause. So ISKCON and the Kumbh Mela, they were serving around 10,000 plates of prasadam every day, I believe. So it's a huge number, right? And all these donations have been given by these industrialists who are wealthy. In a similar way, this is just to give an example that if somebody is having wealth and he utilizes, then there's a lot of auspiciousness is there, and a lot of good activities can be done. So this is a duty of a grihastha. This is a prescribed duty of a grihastha, that one distributes prasadam, one does a lot of community activities. So what does one gain by doing all those things is that one becomes pious. But what are the effects if one does not do these activities? So Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also says that many times he says about a particular philosophy, and then he says, if you do this, you will gain this. If you don't do this, then what will happen to you? So if one is pious and he is following all these rules and regulation, then he becomes Krishna conscious and he becomes close to Krishna. But then if one does ugra karma, but then he doesn't engage his wealth in the proper utilization in the service of the Lord, then his wealth somehow leaves him. I had a colleague who was like, who was with me for some time. Now he's not my colleague. He was working in company A, and then he moved to company B. He got an offer from company B, and he was in that probation period, right? Where during the period where he was transferring, he has moved from company A to company B. So he had resigned company A, but he had not joined company B. And during this in-between period of 1 week or 2 weeks, exactly during this period, he had got some kidney stone pain. And he has to be admitted in emergency, and he had to pay $20,000 out of his pocket. Because he left the company A, so he didn't have that insurance. And he didn't join company B. And exactly during that time, he gets this karma, and he had to lose his money. So if one is like, he does not does the his prescribed duty, if one does ugra karma, so then naturally there's a great chance that his earnings and things get wasted like this without of proper use. So we could also see that in the case in Bangladesh, we could see that a lot of Hindus and ISKCON devotees were attacked during the recent riots and other things. So just before few months, they were all good. They were all earning. Everybody was buying house, paying EMIs, and they were like amazing wealth and everything. But suddenly, within few months, they had to lose everything. So they were saying that the people who are of opposite religion, they used to come in groups, and they would say that, see, if you are going to celebrate Durga Puja or any other Hindu festival, then for every head you have to give 2 lakhs. Every head you have to give 2 lakhs. And that's how it is. If by any chance you get to know that, they get to know that you are celebrating some festival, Janmashtami or any Hindu festival, then so it's like rowdyism, right? Where people swindle money in the name of religion. So that's how there's a great chance that if somebody accumulates the wealth through ugra karma, then the people can lose the wealth in unfair means. So it is important that one earns the wealth for maintaining his family, not do ugra karma, at the same time do all the prescribed duties which are mentioned in the Shastras. So if one does the prescribed duty, then what happens is that Krishna's hand will be there always with us. Krishna gives us the protection. So we don't know how Krishna's protection will come, but Krishna's protection will come definitely. So when Draupadi was suffering, she was disturbed in front of everybody. Nobody was ready to help, but somehow the unlimited sari, start coming from nowhere. So that's how Krishna acts. But then Draupadi was a pure devotee. She was always engaged in devotional service. We should not forget that. So if one engages in devotional service, if one does all the prescribed duties of the Shastras, then the protection will come. Yeah. So then we will discuss about the Dharma paradox. So there are rules and regulations which are given in scriptures, prescribed duties which are given in scriptures. But then there is always a confusion of what to follow and what not to follow. Like, for example, when Mother Sita, when Ravana approached Mother Sita, Lakshmana had put a line, and he told Mother Sita that don't cross over this line. But Ravana, he was deceiving Mother Sita, and he was saying that so you have to come out of this line, then only I will accept uh, the whatever you are offering me. He was in the garb of a Brahmana. Ravana was in the garb of a Brahmana. So then Mother Sita had a dilemma. What to do? So should I go out of this line and give the donation to the Brahmana, give the offering to the Brahmana, or should I follow what Lakshmana has said? So there is always a paradox, right? So what do we do in the time of paradox? So we also have, many times we have this question, right? We know when somebody is coming, practicing to Krishna consciousness, during the initial days, they will have questions like, see, I have become vegetarian, I am chanting, but my husband is not a vegetarian. So what should I do now? Right? So should I cook meat or not? So these questions will come. So these are dharma paradox we always have. And even within, like after coming to Krishna consciousness, sometimes, many times, we have a question like, see, I have these 2 services or 3 services. Which services to take as a priority? So all these things, questions we have. So how do we approach that? So this is technically called the dharma sankat. Anybody has heard this word, dharma sankat? Right? You don't know whether, both are right, but what to do? No. Yeah, so this is what is dharma paradox. How do we approach that? So there's a small story in this regard. This is from Prabhupada's lectures. So there was a prince. There was a sage, and he saw a prince who was like enjoying his life. He was supposed to rule the kingdom, but then he was not taking up the training of a Kshatriya, but enjoying woman. But then this sage, he gave a curse or blessing, whatever you can say. He told Rajaputra Chiram Jiva. He said to the prince that you live forever. And then the sage, he saw Muni's son. Muni's son, he is like very pious. He's doing all his activities, devotional activities perfectly. But then he says that ma jiva, you don't live. He's saying to Muni's son that you don't live. For the prince who is like enjoying, he is saying that you live forever. And then he meets a sadhu. He is a sage. He meets another sadhu, and he says, Jivava marava. Either you live or you die, as you like. Whatever you want, you can be. You either live or you die. And then he sees a butcher, and then he says, Ma jiva, ma mara. You don't die, don't live. So this is what he sees. He sees these 4 people, and he gives all these curse or blessing. Okay, so this doesn't come under our common sense, right? We see that if somebody is prince and who is doing all these illicit activities, then we think that he should be killed first. And then if somebody is like Muniputra, he is really doing his activities properly. He is devotional. He is like following Brahmanical rules and everything. Then he must live forever. We think that's what we think. But then this sage that he says that you don't live. So there's always a paradox, right? So then why that sage says all these things? So Prabhupada explains in that lecture. So he says that Prabhupada says that the prince, he has to live forever because he might meet a devotee in his life in the future. So he might get a chance to get rectified. And even if he is going to die, he is going to go to hell. So better he enjoy his life and better he get a chance for meeting a devotee, a sadhu. So let him live forever. So this is how the sage, comes to a conclusion based on the Shastras. And then Muniputra, he says that you don't live. So why does the sage say that? Because he feels that, not feeling, he's saying as per the Shastra that, see, he's already in a stage where he can get liberated. Then why he has to be within this material world and get contaminated again? So better he go back got it now only. He doesn't have to suffer in this world again. So then he says, that's why he says that Muniputra, that you don't live. For a butcher, he says that Ma Jiva Mavara, you don't die and don't live. That means that even if you are going to live, you are going to have a sinful life. And even if you are going to go die, then you are going to go to hell. So, anyway, your life is hellish. What is the point? You live or die. So, similarly for a devotee, he says that either you live or you die. It doesn't mean. So, Prabhupada gives an example of wheat hulling machine. Wheat hulling machine, if you put the husk of the wheat, it just removes the wheat and then it removes the dry husk in a separate way. So Prabhupada says that wherever you put this machine, whether you put it here, use that machine in earthly planet, or you take to the heavenly planet, it will do the same job to remove the wheat and remove the husk separately. So a devotee is like that. Wherever he goes, he will be chanting Hare Krishna. So it doesn't matter, whether he is in earthly planet or he is in heavenly planet. So that's how we can see that how Shastras are there, rules of Shastras are there, but then how to apply it, when to apply it, what to apply it. So all those things can be understood if one gets the guidance of a guru. So how do we follow the Shastra? How do we apply the Shastra? How do we know which action is right or wrong? Yes, understanding Shastra is important. At the same time, one has to have a check and balance system where one consults Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. So we have this check and balance system where one consults the Guru, Sadhu and Shastra to understand whether an activity is a correct activity or it's an incorrect activity, is a prohibited activity, and then progresses life based on that. So now, see, the Kali Yuga is going in a very, very bad way. It is progressing. In fact, we should not use the word progressing. It is, Kali Yuga is like going in a very, I don't know what word we use. Progressively regressive. Okay. Yeah. So all the sinful activities are going more and more. All the pious activities are coming down. Okay. Even if you use this Guru, Sadhu and Shastra check and balance system to find an activity is a proper activity or not, even these gurus, there are many fake gurus, there are many fake sadhus, there are many fake Shastras, right? So how can one, where to start? If there are fake gurus, where there are fake sadhus and fake Shastras which don't which are not in line with the Vedic conclusions. So then, what should one do? So whom should one take shelter of? So that's the question, right? Because Kali Yuga is progressing in that way. So that's where this sloka comes into picture. So this is a sloka from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Mahaprabhu, he says this sloka. Tarko pratishta shrutayo bibinha ashau rishiryasya matam na bhinnam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajanoyena gatasapanta. So Mahaprabhu says that where is Dharma residing? Dharma is residing in the hearts of the devotee. He's saying, Nihitam guhayam. It's a secret. What is dharma, what is adharma? All those details are secretly residing, that knowledge is residing in the heart of a devotee. Okay, Nihitam gunayam. Mahajanohe gatastapanta. One has to follow the Mahajana to understand what is dharma, what is adharma, what one needs to do, and what one must not do. So that's the recommendation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that one follow the Mahajana, because in this Kali Yuga we are having like a lot of fake sadhus, a lot of fake gurus, and scriptures are very vast and wide, and there are also very many scriptures which are not in line with the Vedic conclusion. So one has to follow the Mahajana. So who is the Mahajana whom we know, who has come from the Guru Parampara? Who is the latest Mahajana whom we know? Srila Prabhupada, yes, yeah. So Srila Prabhupada is coming from Brahma Madhya Gaudiya Sampradaya. So he is the Mahajana whom we know. And what has Prabhupada given as a solution for people in Kali Yuga? So I was just doing a Veda-based search, and then Prabhupada has mentioned about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 42 times in Bhagavad Gita. And 438 places in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has mentioned this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this itself shows that Prabhupada said that my books are like law books. And within the law books, what is majorly being told is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. 438 times he has mentioned Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that itself showed what is the priority which Prabhupada as a Mahajana has been giving us. So Prabhupada has been always telling that one has to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in whatever situation one may be in. He has been emphasizing this point. In fact, he told that is one of the purposes of ISKCON. In fact, the first purpose of ISKCON is to spread the holy names of the Lord. That is the first purpose of ISKCON. So we can see how Prabhupada has been emphasizing this. There are a few quotes which I just found out where Prabhupada is emphasizing on the holy name. The holy name is so powerful that even by chanting with offense, gradually he becomes pure. Therefore, we should not give up chanting. Any circumstances, we should go on chanting Hare Krishna. So if somebody is appreciating us, or somebody is insulting us, or if we are happy, if you are unhappy, if we are wealthy, if you are not wealthy, if we are in a, whatever situation one is in, one must try to chant Hare Krishna. If our boss insults us in the office, we say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It would be good, no? In the meeting, if the boss insults us, we say Hare Krishna. Don't do it, no? The boss will fire you, and then he will come and fire me. That's not the idea. But then one has to have an internal response. The internal response is that we take shelter of Krishna in the holy name. Whatever situation one is in. So that's the recommendation of Prabhupada. He says that whatever may be your situation, wherever you are, you keep chanting Hare Krishna. And this is another quote. One need only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is from Purport, okay? So one need only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He doesn't say anything else. He says that one need only chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Everyone engaged in practicing of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be completely cleansed. See the conviction of Prabhupada. He says that he will be completely cleansed. From the core of the heart, it's not even the top layer. From the core of the heart, you will be cleansed and be saved from the cycle of birth and death. Such a blessing. Prabhupada is giving such a blessing and he's showing us the way of what needs to be done in this age. Other Vedic mantras and the other yajnas will not work in this age. And even if it works, it will be for very, very much minuscule of people. And if any person chants the other mantras, it has to be done with utmost purity. Otherwise, you will have reverse effect. I heard that one person, he was like a foreigner, I think, foreigner in the sense he is like a Westerner. He heard this Gayatri mantra and he was like reciting every day while going in car. Just like Hare Krishna, he was reciting Gayatri mantra. And his throat got struck. He was not able to speak after a few days. So that's because Gayatri mantra has some rules. One has to be so pure to chant the Gayatri mantra, and it has to be received from proper source. So otherwise, these mantras will show an effect, and that effect can be a positive and that can be a negative effect also. But Hare Krishna Mahamantra doesn't have anything like that. Anybody can chant Hare Krishna. Even a person who is doing Vikarmic activity, he can chant Hare Krishna. So once we had a book distribution experience. There was one guy, we were just distributing books, and one guy who was like drunk, he came and he told that, say, I want Bhagavad Gita. He was drunk. And he told he wants Bhagavad Gita. And then he told how much and other things. And then he told, he wants a box, entire set of 20 Bhagavad Gitas he wants. He told that, he wants to distribute it to people. So I think it's like that, right? Where the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has to reach everywhere, and it doesn't stop one from chanting from whatever situation one is in. It doesn't gives the negative effect or the reverse effect. So that's the potency of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And that's what Prabhupada is recommending as a Mahajan. He is telling what is the rule for this age. He is saying the chanting of Hare Krishna is the rule for this age. You please do it. Yeah. So there's a small story in this regards. Can I take 5 minutes? Yeah. There's a small story in this regards. This story is from Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we know Jagai Madai, right? So how they do sinful activity. So their way of doing sinful activity is very special. So what they do is that they read scriptures, and when they read scriptures, they see that okay, see, this is a sin, and they go and do that exact sin. Yeah. So if they read that raping a woman is a sin, they will go and rape a woman. That's how they were so sinful. It's not even inadvertently, committing sin. Willingly, that too, reading scriptures to find out what is a sin and then committing sin. So that's how they were committing sinful activities. And then we all know the pastime that how Nityananda Prabhu rescues them and makes them chant Hare Krishna. So this is that's how we know he was doing. So this like in the Yamaloka, they had to design a special hell for them, because for whatever the sinful activity they were doing, the current hells were not sufficient. So they had to design a special hell for them. So that was going on in Yamaloka, and their sinful activities were like the Chitragupta is writing their activities. It is like warehouses and warehouses. They are having a lot of sinful activity, and they were designing a special hell for them. Suddenly everything vanishes, and then and Yamaraj asks, what happened? All these things. Then they say that this is because we don't know what has happened. And then Yamaraj he faints. He faints there. So Lord Shiva was passing through that way, and then Lord Shiva comes to the Yamaloka, and then the Yamadutas, they say that somehow Yamaraj has fainted. We don't know what is the reason. We are talking about this Jagai and Madai, but suddenly he fainted. So then Lord Shiva says that, see, Jagai Madai are so great sinners, but because of the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have been rescued, and they are now chanting the holy names of the Lord. So Yamaraj has got into ecstasy by hearing the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So that's why he has fainted. So now let us all chant Hare Krishna and wake up Yamaraj. And in Yamaloka, everybody chants Hare Krishna and wakes up Yamaraj. So that's how it is. Mahaprabhu is so merciful, and he has given us the process. He has delivered Jagai and Madai, and definitely we are not to the level of Jagai and Madai. Prabhupada said that somebody told that to Prabhupada that, see Prabhupada, I am so fallen. Prabhupada told that you are not so of anything. Prabhupada told you are not so of anything. So there are many people more fallen than us, and the reference is Jagai and Madai. So Mahaprabhu's mercy is that even Jagai and Madai can be uplifted and liberated. And why not you? So that's why we have to take up this process seriously. By the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will be delivered from the clutches of Maya. So this is the sloka. This is the last sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about the importance of Sankirtan. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamodka Samanam Tam Namami Harim Param. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy names destroy all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material sufferings. So let us all chant Hare Krishna, follow the Guru Parampara, and then receive the mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Ramaprabhu, thank you so much for that absolutely wonderful class. You covered, I feel like, almost 60% of Bhagavad Gita in one class, right from dharma to karma. So thank you for that. I was going to share something really funny when you said you should say Hare Krishna at work. I actually worked on a project where I had one of my colleagues' name was Hari Krishna, another colleague on the team, his name was Krishna, and the third person's name was Ramakrishna. That was the best call I was ever on. But on the flip side, I could never get angry if they didn't do their work, because I felt like I was committing an offense to the holy name if I say, Krishna, why you didn't do your task on time? But it was still nonetheless. So thank you so much for that, Prabhu. Again, welcome everyone to our Sunday program today. Next part of the program is Aarti. We request everyone to please rise, and you can come closer to the altar to take darshan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Kunj Bihari Radha Kunj Bihari Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Namaste Narasingaya. Namaste Namaste Narasingaya. हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः हिरण्यकाशी पूर्वक्षः शिलाटङ्कानकालाये इदो नरसिंह परतो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह यतो यतो यामि ततो नरसिंह बहिर्नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह नरसिंहमदीं शरणं प्रपद्ये नरसिंहमदीं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव करकमलवरे नका अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे तव करकमलवरे नका अद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुभृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह 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 Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari
Ayam Vishnupath Paramahans Parivajakaacharya Stotra Shakti Vedanta Trijanti Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patita Pavan Savior of the fallen soul Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jayam Vishnupath Paramahans Parivajakaacharya Stotra Shakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Guru Parampara ki jai. Antakoti Vaishnav Vindi ki jai. नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। व्रज भूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। मायापुर धाम की जय। नवदीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मई की जय। श्री राधा दामोदर की जय। गंगा मई की जय। जमुना मई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी वंदा देवी की जय। योग धर्म संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जय। ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। साम वेद भक्तवंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada.